Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really digging into something I find fascinating, the 35-year evolution of the cinema experience right in the Youngstown area.
Yeah, and we're looking at everything from 1990 all the way to a projection for 2025.
We're tracking the corporate battles, the rapid closures, and also this amazing local resilience.
And it's not just a simple timeline. What the sources show is this story of really immediate, almost violent transition.
It seems like the big shift started right away in 1990. That's when we saw the traditional twin theaters start to disappear.
That's right. The closure of the Wedgwood 1 and 2 was a huge signal. I mean, a lot of people loved that place.
And the market just did not wait. The response was instantaneous. In Niles, the old Eastwood Mall twin closed in November of 91.
And within days, I mean, literally just days later, National Cinema opens the Boulevard Center with 6 screens.
So the pivot was immediate. Out with the twin screen, in with the modern multiplex.
Exactly. And that really kicks off what you could only call a corporate arms race that defined the whole mid-90s.
You had Cinemark jumping in, really upping the ante, by debuting the movie's 8 in Boardman in 93.
And that wasn't just about adding more seats, right? It forced this amenities war. It raised the cost of entry for everyone.
And then comes the consolidation. Regal acquires National Cinemas in 1994, and they move fast.
Incredibly fast. By 1995, they expand that Boulevard Center venue to 14 screens, just massive. It becomes the regional destination.
And the high water mark for that boom, I'd say, was 96 with the opening of Tinseltown, USA.
Oh, yeah, Tinseltown.
Mm-hmm.
That intensified everything. They pushed features like stadium seating into their 7 screens. It was cutting edge at the time.
But these huge venues, they need massive audiences. That high overhead is a killer if attendance dips even a little.
And that's the key. That corporate pushback directly led to a market correction. The big chains created their own vulnerability.
Which is why, when we get into the new millennium, you start to see this local resilience filling the gaps.
A perfect example is the Regal Movie World 6 in Niles. It closes down in 2001.
But it doesn't stay closed for long.
Nope. By 2003, it successfully reopens, but this time it's under local operation as the USA Cinema. And their whole model is different.
They focused on affordable, second-run films. A lower-cost business model that could actually survive where the big chain couldn't.
And, this kind of adaptation wasn't just happening indoors.
Right, the drive-ins were evolving too. They had to compete with the multiplexes.
So you see the Elm Road Drive-In at its 3rd screen in 2004, and then the Skyway adds a 2nd screen in 2010. They were modernizing a classic.
And that local tenacity was so crucial because the 2010s were just incredibly volatile.
It was like a revolving door for some of these places.
Yeah, look at the movie's 8 in Boardman. It closes in 2014, and almost immediately, the operators of Encore Cinema swoop in and reopen it.
The physical space itself just keeps cycling through different owners, everyone trying to find the formula that works.
And then, of course, the ultimate shock hits in 2020, the pandemic.
That was a huge blow. Regal closes the Austintown Commons 10, a big venue.
But again, someone sees an opportunity. Golden Star Theaters jumps right in and reopens it.
Which shows this amazing, persistent belief that, people in the region will come back to the movies.
And yet the economic pressure is still there. The screen count keeps shrinking. We saw the Encore 5 in Niles close in 2022.
And it brings us right back to that saga of the movie's 8 in Boardman. It's now projected to close once more in December 2025.
So if you tie this all together, the market is just defined by these rapid, continuous cycles. A big corporation expands, overextends, and then pulls back.
And right behind them is a local operator, someone more resilient who steps in to fill that void. It's this constant churn.
So the big question for you to think about is, what does this all mean? We've tracked 35 years of these physical spaces, from the death of the twin screen to these post-pandemic closures.
And when you look at the sustained success of the affordable second-run theaters and you see the commitment to modernizing the drive-ins, what does that show us?
What does that persistent need for local operators tell us about what audiences truly value, beyond just, the sheer number of screens available?
It's something to ponder the next time you decide where you're going to buy a ticket.